Hello, Rara. This is your grandmother, and I know you can't receive these calls, but I know that we are praying for you.
Get it crackin', see a lighter? Get it crackin'. If I'm ain't on your beat, get it crackin'. Happy actin' like a cat, happy shit that happened. Heard a nigga caught a couple bodies and he ratted. Hellcat screaming around the corner, automatic. I can tell the time, it's a bust down paddock. Spinning in some shit till it spin and we trash it. Hanging out the window, shooting something automatic. I don't call it back, a pussy whack, a nigga had it. Disrespect the guy, he gotta go, that's automatic.
What's good, y'all? This is your boy Joe Cliff, and we are here. We are back. It's been a little minute, but you know I gotta do these reviews. Music is music, and music is life. Big shouts out to everybody out there, everybody that got some stuff going on. I hope you get through it. The holiday season is here and it's near, and I know people are going through it. I know people, they're struggling to make sure that their families have the things that they need and all that. So sending my prayers and my wishes and all that to them type of people out there. Continue to work hard, continue to grind, continue to prosper and be great. We are here. First and foremost, we are screaming Free Sue Surf. You already know Free Sue Surf. Sue Surf dropped his 16-track album on Thanksgiving. So thanks is given to the wave. Free the wave, man. Free the wave. If you ever been to prison or jail or anything like that, you don't never want to see anybody in them type of situations. You don't want nobody, jail is probably one of the worst places you could be, seriously, as a human being. It's filthy, it's animalistic, it turns you into something that you really don't want to be or you really don't need to be, but you have to be due to the circumstances and the situations in that place. So big shouts out to Sue Surf. He's up there with Casanova, Free Casanova too, you already know. But Surf dropped his album, and we're gonna do a little review. Make sure you go stream that album. He is independent, so all his stuff, he owns all his own stuff, so every cent goes to him and his team. So make sure you just go stream that. Make sure you just go run that up, download it, buy it. $9.99 is $10 or whatever. Or you could download it and stream it 1,000,000 times, whatever works for you. But make sure you guys support, you know what I'm saying? And because not only that, Surf is probably one of the few battle rappers that can actually put together great albums. Like, battle rappers nowadays, the stigma that they can't make music, it's gone, but they really don't put together full tapes like that. Like Kid Slade has a fire tape out, The Ghost of Whitney. Chess, What Didn't Kill Me. Chess's music, bro. I listen to Chess's albums, his singles, all that. Chess has some fire out. Rock got some fire joints. Him and Chess got a fire joint together. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to albums, you can see how Surf separates himself as far as putting music out and being a battle rapper and things like that. And these albums, like, you know what I'm saying? He dropped the EP last year, Until Further Notice, and then he had the Miss Kim album. I forgot the name of the other joint. Surf, his album game is crazy. The New Walk mixtape, all that stuff. Everything that he's putting together, you continue to hear his sound. You continue to hear him elevate. You continue to hear him get in his bag lyrically, musically, sonically. Like, he has this sound. And that's what makes Surf so, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes him such a great artist, because he understands his sound and what he could do with music. You never hear him really go outside of the range of what he mastered. And for some people, that would be like, you know what I'm saying? It would probably be considered stagnant or whatever. But for me, it's perfect, because once you master that and you know how to put it together and you know what to do, it makes it easier. It makes for better music. It makes for better quality music and things like that. And he always has like if you notice, one of my favorite things about Surf, before we get into this album, is the vulnerability aspect that he puts into his music. and just the way that he's able to have a marriage with these singers, these trap singers, like these rap singers. Like you have him and Vori that has a fire joint on his last album. Him and Mr. Chicken, I know that they was beefing, but that joint, that's one of my favorite joints on that album. You know what I'm saying? Him and he got Doc Hours and Elevate with Jordan. And I forgot the other guy's name, but he's worked with him before on this album. That's fire. So Surf's able, him being able and him knowing what he's able to do with his craft and just being able to attack it, that's what makes for great music, and that's why he's able to put together these type of albums. As far as the album as a whole, I love the album. I would just say it was a little rushed, and you could tell it was a little rushed and pieced together, because you have, like, one of my favorite standouts on that album is probably the Feel Nothing joint with Jim Jones, but you could tell that that was like a unfinished song, and they asked Jim to hop on it and stuff like that. That's the only, honestly, that would probably be my only complaint about this album, is just you could tell that it was a little rushed due to the circumstances and the situations, but that's understandable. Like I said, we're gonna get straight into it. The album starts with some words from Surf's grandma, and it's kind of interesting, bro. Like, we all know that the battle rap thing and all that stuff is a persona, but Surf talks and he says in one of his songs, "Mama keeps saying pray, but mama, I don't think he's listening. Why should he now? I be like a reaper with my hoodie down." You know what I'm saying? When he talks about that and his the devil's grandson thing and all that, you kind of have like this idea that he's like out of touch with spirituality and things like that. But, well, not even out of touch, but you know what I'm saying? Because obviously, if he believes in the devil and stuff like that, well, if he plays on that and all that type of stuff. But just to hear his grandmother, like, give him them words, how highly she speaks of God, and just to talk about, like, the blessings, like, that opening was very heartfelt. You know what I'm saying? And then we get straight into it with the Desparu track that was dropped last week or the week before, I believe. Video out on YouTube now, and then it starts getting into it. Like, that's, like I said, a lot of this album is it's vulnerable, it's raw. You could tell that he was going through some certain situations, because, like, the situation that he's in right now, him being locked up and stuff like that, you really can't, he doesn't really talk too much about the things that led up to it, but you can hear him talk about, like, second guessing friends, things of that nature, not knowing who in his circle is really who now and stuff like that. So just to hear that aspect and to hear him just, like, you know what I'm saying, see and understand what's going around, what's going on around him and what's about to happen, is kind of scary, man. It's an eye-opener. Some people just understand, and that's a lot of the that's what I get from this album too. Like, some people really do understand what they sign up for, and Surf is one of them people, man. He says it a lot. He says it on one of the tracks in here. He's like, "Oh, I got shot 5 times. I could show you what being a gangster like." You know what I'm saying? It's just little things like that, and just little stingers, and just the way he attacks and the way he talks, and how it's more of a lesson learned than a glorification for him. And that's kind of fire to me, because you can understand, you can see, like, he's learning, and it's kind of unfortunate that at this point in his life where he was actually trying to get things together and, you know, remove himself from the streets and stuff like that, he's in this situation. And you can hear a lot of that in the album. You can hear him talk about a lot of stuff. You can hear him talk about the broken relationships. One of my favorite joints on this album is Song Cry. It's just like him talking to this woman. understanding that like all women come with this baggage, bro. Like it's crazy. He said that he was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely better than my ex, but just as annoying. Like it's just little tidbits like that, little gems and stuff like that makes it so real, that gives it that real vibe, that real feel. Like bro, like this album only been out for a day and I already got lines like in my head, like I could just freestyle and come off because this is all I've been listening to. 16 songs, like I said. Jim Jones, bro. Jim Jones is really in his prime as far as rapping and rapping ability and stuff like that. When Jim Jones gets like on a track, it's different. It's dependent on the topic, because we all know he gets into that fashion, that braggadocious, you know, the balling and all that type of stuff. But when he starts preaching, it's more of a poetry type thing. And you got that on here. That song Feel Nothing, Jim was in his bag, bro. That's probably one of my favorite songs on there. I'm just mad Surf didn't have a verse on that song, but Jim was really in his bag. He said they're giving out Ricos like free throws, the feds are playing foul. He said, like, bro, Jim, like, when he starts talking and he gets in that more spoken word poetry bag than the rapping, braggadocious type bag, like, Jim can't really be touched, bro. He's fire. Big shouts out to Jim Jones at this point in his career, still turning up and still going crazy. Another person on the album that I really didn't expect. I probably haven't heard a verse from this woman in a while. She's probably able to give anybody verses in the hip-hop industry, especially now. A lot of these young women coming up look forward to her, so I'm kind of surprised she's not, you know, doing these side missions, doing these verses and stuff like that with these younger generation of artists. But she's always true to the battle rap culture. Big shouts out to Remy Ma, seriously. Remy Ma, man, she's a talent. She's a rare talent when it comes to women. Like, we see it all the time, bro. We hear about it all the time. And it's kind of sad and it sucks. Like, a lot of these women, they're not writing their own raps. They're getting help to write their raps. They're getting these reference tracks, or they're getting, you know, it's like fill in the blank, every other word type thing. Like, it's so crazy. We just seen it with Lotto and all this happen. So when we have someone like Remy Ma, all we could do is appreciate what she does, the rawness she brings. Like, that verse was fire. She was writing from a perspective of a woman that just lost her man to certain situations, and she got to try to hold it down, bro. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts. Big shouts out to Remy. Like I said, Song Cry, probably my favorite joint on that album for entertainment purposes. Bro, that song is crazy, crazy, crazy. I keep adding Quad because I need a remix of that joint with Conway on it. Conway the Machine. For entertainment purposes, gives me just that raw Griselda vibe. Like, seriously, it gives me that, like, yo, that hip-hop vibe. And Surf Gone is back. It's like a beat switch in the middle of the song, and it just gets even harder as the beat goes on, bro. So big shouts out to Surf. Like I said, I need to hear Conway on that joint, the For Entertainment Purposes joint. That's probably one of my favorite joints on there too. And like I said, you have the songs like Dark Hours and Elevate and things like that. And Surf taps into his ability to like create these marriages with these guys that do like the trap R&B type thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they'll go back and forth, they'll do the hook, a little bridge, and the topics at hand. That's why I say, like, there's a lot of self-reflecting, a lot of self-deprecation, a lot of like, he's taking a lot of responsibility for some of the actions that's going on. It's just that's my only discrepancy with this album is you could tell it was kind of rushed, bro. But like I said, due to the circumstances, like, you know, it is what it is. But overall, I would give this album an 8 out of 10, probably 8.5 out of 10. It's all I've been listening to, honestly. Like, full rotation, like repeat full album type thing, not skipping a joint, like seriously. So big shouts out to Sue Surf, man. I hope everything falls in motion. I hope everything gets in order and gets together for him. Missing battle rap, like I'm pretty sure they have enough music tucked away, you know what I'm saying, to probably give us another project or two. But even in that circumstances, in that situation, you gotta understand, did he actually even record enough music to, you know, sustain and last out through this time of what he's going through? Because honestly, Surf isn't like a single type rapper, you know what I'm saying? Every time he drops, it's either an EP or an album. So I don't know, just looking at the circumstances, man, I'm just happy that we was able to get this piece of work and he was able to, you know, actually get this out while he's still locked down. So make sure you guys go stream this joint. Make sure you hit them comments. Let me know what's your favorite joint on this album. Let me know why. If you got it on repeat, make sure you guys go post and like and share this. This is your boy Joe Cliff, me on the outside looking in. And I will be back because URL is on some bullshit. URL is on there bully. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about the, I'm going to drop a video later. We're going to be talking about the Geechee Gotti thing and all that. You know what I'm saying? Geechee Gotti versus J Mills. This is crazy. The Smack Volume 10 card. The women have a day on the Smack Volume 10 card. The men's card is out of this world. Got the Civil War card. Like, bro, there's so much going on with URL within this last month of battle rap in just December. That weekend is gonna be bananas. But we're gonna talk about that. This is your boy Joe Cliff here on the outside. Good y'all, this is your boy Joe Cliff. And what I'm gonna need for y'all to do is to hit that like button, hit that share button, comment a little something. Make sure you subscribe and get these videos running. We gotta get these analytics up. We gotta get it running through the algorithms and we gotta get it going. Make sure you tap in. Joe Cliff, outside looking in, all that good stuff. You already know the Joe Show. We rocking. Thank y'all. We up.